Antarctica is that one continent that was discovered only after humans had already mapped out most of the planets in our solar system. And when people first set foot here, all they saw was an endless frozen wasteland. But later, when fossils and other evidence were uncovered, we realized that once upon a time, Antarctica was home to some of the weirdest and most terrifying animals the world has ever seen. Number 7. The mega penguin. Now everyone knows penguins are these cute little birds that live around Antarctica and nearby regions. They seem harmless today, but millions of years ago, things were very different. Antarctica was home to the mega penguin, the largest and deadliest penguin species ever. Compared to today's emperor penguins and even humans, these giants were several times bigger. Fossil evidence shows that mega penguins could hold their breath underwater far longer than modern penguins, and they lived around 34 million years ago, during the same period when the giant mammal Prehistoric roamed the Indian subcontinent. Number 6. The Light of Terns. This one will surprise you. Explore the continent today, and you won't see a single plant or land animal, and any fossils you find near the coast are from semi-aquatic animals like seals and penguins. But it wasn't always this way. Long ago, Antarctica was teeming with land animals, including the Light of Terns. These creatures had bodies similar to camels, but their faces and noses looked more like tapirs. DNA evidence shows their closest living relatives today are tapirs, horses, and rhinoceroses. Like their modern relatives, Light of Terns were herbivores, feeding in forests that once covered Antarctica. This tells us that prehistoric Antarctica was more like a lush, forested world, full of diverse plants. But as the continent began freezing around 34 million years ago, plants disappeared and the land animals vanished along with them. Number 5. The Astrapotheres. Imagine a creature that looked like a mix between an elephant and a hippopotamus. That's roughly what the Astrapotheres were like. These prehistoric mammals from Antarctica are considered some of the strangest ever discovered, and scientists are still unsure who their closest modern relatives are. We do know they were herbivores and lived alongside mega penguins and Light of Terns around 34 million years ago. Some Astrapotheres survived in South America until about 11 million years ago, where they faced predators like the enormous Prehistoric, a 50-foot-long giant caiman in what we now call the Amazon jungle. Number 4. The terror birds. Up to now, I've talked about relatively nice herbivores, but of course someone had to be hunting them. Fossils and even entire footprints of these dangerous predators have been found across Antarctica, showing that the continent once had its share of apex predators known as terror birds. These birds evolved in South America after the dinosaurs went extinct, and later spread to Antarctica when the continents were still connected. Terror birds could easily tear apart small and medium-sized animals, and surprisingly, their only living relatives today are small, flightless birds. Number 3. Basilosaurus. In the oceans around Antarctica, there were apex predators too. Basilosaurus was a prehistoric whale that lived roughly 34 million years ago, with some growing up to 60 feet long, about the length of 2 school buses. They even had tiny hind legs, which served no real purpose, but a proof that whales evolved from land-dwelling mammals. If Basilosaurus were alive today, it could have posed a serious threat to humans in the water. Number 2. Cryolophosaurus. Dinosaurs were the most successful land animals of their time, and evidence of their presence has been found on almost every continent. Antarctica was no exception. Cryolophosaurus, discovered in 1991 on Mount Kilpatrick, had a strange crest on its head, the purpose of which remains uncertain. It may have been used like the crests of mudden birds for mating, communication, or dominance displays. Cryolophosaurus was a top predator in its ecosystem, living about 180 million years ago when Antarctica was part of the supercontinent Gondwana. And number 1. Lystrosaurus. Lystrosaurus is perhaps the most important extinct animal discovered in Antarctica. First found in South Africa, then India, and finally Antarctica, these fossils shocked scientists. How could a single animal exist across such different continents? Later, this helped prove the theory of continental drift. Lystrosaurus lived around 247 million years ago when all continents were connected. They were related to the ancestors of mammals and were more mammal-like than modern reptiles.
They were successful land animals, surviving the most catastrophic extinction event of the Permian, and they were among the first animals capable of hibernation, a survival skill that allows them to live for long periods without food or water, something humans may one day use to travel to other planets.